Dun, 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 dun. Hello everyone.
Hello everyone.
It's a little bit late today.
It's quite late today.
We were trying to upgrade the graphics. Hopefully it's gone from Minecraft to Fallout 76.
I feel like it's actually become pixelated. So we got our new camera this week.
Yeah, it does actually look a little bit pixelated, but
it's looking. So tell us in the chat, is this looking weird? It looks kind of weird. I think it might be weird.
is the dab geting pixelated? That's the main question.
Hopefully it's getting deleted.
Hopefully you can't see it, everybody.
That's right. So first of all, are we actually live? Because I was actually when I was setting this up, I realized that the settings were actually set to skill up. So if I press live, I would have gone live on skill up. So Sam finished his Siggy.
Literally.
Are you watching us?
I was legitimately just finishing going, okay, got 2 minutes left until we go live. He's watching us. That's okay. A bit of news today, everyone. Okay.
So, a super good morning. Okay, looks pretty bad. Okay, cool. That's good.
That's good. So we'll have to go back to the drawing board.
It looks weird. People saying it's looking weird. Okay, right.
Yeah,
so we're going to need to fix this up. We've got a new camera, but obviously the settings aren't quite right yet.
So I guess we'll spend most of the time then in the other scene where it's just a smaller one today.
Yeah, Sam's used to the smaller one. I mean, that's
exactly
his native territory.
Now, whoever hasn't done Laymen Live before, it's when instead of doing small dumps, we do one big giant dump on Saturday. Okay, I know we've made that joke many times, but we will continue to do it every time, everybody.
It just never gets old.
It never really does get old, but that's why we're here. Let's talk. There's actually a lot of news now. I know. What's the first one?
Hang on, let's just talk.
Oh, okay.
Let's just chill out, Sam.
All right.
First of all, how was your week, Sam?
We're doing this every week.
Yeah.
My week was good. We played a bit of Control, Smash, Overwatch.
We're going to do our Control review tomorrow, by the way.
Yes, it'll go live for you today.
My Chill Up review will go live immediately after this video finishes.
Yes, so don't watch it because the Laymen video is tomorrow, okay?
Correct.
No, definitely check both out, of course. They're very different videos, of course, everyone. So we do need the views. But apart from that, I haven't really been playing anything else.
I just basically played Control all week, Final Fantasy 14. Oh, we got sent Gears of War.
We've got Gears of War next week.
So we're going to be reviewing that.
And we're potentially doing Astral Chain if there's enough time.
The problem is with time, I'd love to be able to do Astral Chain, but it's just so little time. And apparently it's a good sort of 30 hours if you play it right.
Sure.
You know? So... but apparently it's excellent. Everyone's saying Astral Chain is fucking sick.
Yeah, it looked really cool at E3.
Yep.
I definitely want to jump on. Maybe we'll do impressions on Laymen. Maybe you'll get to do a full review on Chill Up.
I'd like to do a full review on Chill Up at some point. That's the plan. Especially because it's a platinum game, so...
Big Boy's calling me. Let's just make sure the phone's off. Okay, so...
Other than that, last night also, I think something that we're, particularly proud of, we did a stream with Kids Helpline. Just sort of talking about, like mental health issues and that sort of thing, trying to raise awareness that you can see the VOD on Skill Up's channel. Sam and I were there.
Yeah, it was a 2-hour DM.
It was a 2-hour DNM, basically.
DNM, sorry, that's it.
That's right, deep and meaningful, and it was really good. So thank you to everyone who turned out to that.
Yeah.
Thank you to everyone who showed support to Kids Helpline for the work they do. They're a really fantastic organisation, and we're really happy to be a part of that.
Definitely.
So, cool. All right, let's get right to the news. Let's start with... the My Team kerfuffle. This is one thing.
Yeah, a lot of people were like, why aren't you covering this? Well, we saw the Witcher news. We thought, let's jump on that, and then this can be Laymen Live stuff.
Yeah.
I did download the video. It is unlisted now, everybody, okay?
Yes, it is officially unlisted.
But it's easy. Look, it's not like we're doing, it's very easy to see because, number one, it's already been shared on multiple descriptions in YouTube in terms of sources. It's on Twitter everywhere. It's still pretty easy to find.
For sure.
So they obviously don't understand how YouTube works.
Yeah, they're like, if we just
no one's going to see this.
It's going to be okay.
Yeah.
I reckon what they'll probably... So just in case anyone doesn't know, obviously NBA 2K20, they're doing their whole hype reel thing. They decided to put out a promo that is basically just straight up gambling.
Yeah.
You're going to start seeing some of the menus here that really kick in. It's impossible to look at these menus and understand what's going on, by the way. They are so fucking confusing. But look at this. And then you see like a pachinko thing going on here, right? This is basically just pachinko machine.
Yeah.
And you got this guy like, gambling! I love gambling!
Yes, kids!
So good! And this guy, here we go, just a straight up slot machine. That's it.
It doesn't get more gambling than that.
That's
really.
it. So obviously, look, there is some nuance to this story in the sense that a lot of the stuff you can't actually pay for the spins on that. But look at this shit, man. It's just a fucking casino.
Yes.
Like, that's what it is. Do you know what I mean?
And I think that, we've always made the point before that, gambling mechanics were, disguised as loot boxes. And it can definitely move on if you're a child, into adulthood and have that kind of rewiring brain.
For sure.
This is to the next level. It's like,
we're
actually giving you the exact experience, what to expect in a casino, and use the exact gambling mechanics, in a casino. It's next level stuff. I'm like, I saw recently, I think Yong put out a statement on Twitter or something just saying that ESA has come back.
Yeah.
And said, like, this is all
Technically,
good.
it's all gambling.
It's crazy, man.
It really is.
I mean, I thought that when this stuff was going to start popping up, that was going to be enough, for ESA and a lot of these big, organizations to be like, okay, cool, this is not cool. But clearly, it's just like, well, it's not gambling, which it clearly is. It's just obscene.
It really is quite great. And this is the kind of stuff that absolutely is the straw that breaks the camel's back.
Like the Star Wars thing.
Like Star Wars was at that point where everyone's like, whoa, and everyone starts paying attention, and then government legislators get involved, and they're like, hey, maybe we should make laws against this shit. This is exactly the stuff that does that. So a lot of people are like, oh, we don't want the government getting involved in our business and stay away from video games. Well, that's what happens when you do this sort of shit. When you like completely take the piss and do this stuff.
And I think, look, I mean, it really comes down to the mums and dads. Like, that is the biggest force that we need to kind of get on board. And I think that a lot of mums and dads will look at a loot box and might be like, oh, I don't know what this is. But when they see this... and they see their kids literally pulling the slot machine, or they're literally...
That's right.
Literally pulling a slot machine, or seeing that wheel of whatever it is, Wheel of Fortune or whatever it's called. I don't know what it's called.
Hang on, wait. You have to just wait. Just watch this. Hang on. Can we hear the sound? Can you guys hear the sound?
Yeah. Oh, wait, they probably can't.
Dude, shut up, man. Just shut the fuck up.
I mean, I think these are the moments where parents, mums and dads that have no idea about video games like this right now, this is maybe what they need to see to be like, oh, okay, this is why this is a problem, Because I think if I was, a 50-year-old dad that never played games and saw a loot box, I would maybe not understand that this is actually very threatening to my child.
It definitely is. So look, who knows what's going to happen? I suspect this will evolve. This story will evolve.
I mean, maybe not though, man.
No, I think it will.
ESA's already come out with their statement. Maybe that's it.
No, I think there's just so much backlash against this. It's so ridiculous that I feel like this is going to evolve, because they've really just taken things way too far right now. I mean, it's fucking nuts.
And like, I mean, like these basketball players, like,
their brands are also bound up in this. Yeah,
I mean, look, yes, the case can be made as like maybe they don't play games, but the bottom line is like, come on, they have a brain. They obviously know that this is marketed to kids. Like, it's just not a good move.
And I mean, it's not a good move. Like, LeBron and stuff, people are tweeting, like, because I tweeted out about this. I'm like, garbage tier, publisher, 2K. And then people were like, tagging LeBron in this. And it's kind of like, well, is LeBron or someone like that going to pay attention and be like, actually, I've looked at this and I think, you're right. This is not good. And if LeBron were to come out and say, I don't think this is a good idea, that's a fucking ball game at that point. Everything stops.
I like the pun. Ball game, very nice.
Nice.
Yes, but I do think it. If all it takes is like, Steve Curry or Mark Curry? What's his name? Steve Curry. I don't know, man. I don't. Is it Mark Curry? I don't know. But anyway, I don't follow basketball clearly. But all it takes is someone like that to come out and make one Twitter tweet or one statement at a press conference or after a game. It's like, and that's on the radar of a lot of people.
For sure.
And I hope that happens.
I really hope basketball players, sports stars, like, stand up and sort of play a leadership role within this. Because they are role models to so many kids. And if they could be like, hey, man, this fucking sucks.
Yeah.
That just changes everything.
And other basketball players like Tiger Woods and Don Bradman.
And Serena Williams. Absolutely.
Just want to see them all get up and say that
all
they hate
all
this.
the basketball
all
greats.
the basketball greats.
John Bradman. Is
Jordan Michael, please get up. Come on.
Lance Armstrong as well. He's a real leader. that guy,
I think he was the first one to play basketball.
I think
Pretty sure he was.
I think he invented basketball right before he invented doping.
Yeah.
So
Buzz Aldrin was the second one to play basketball.
That's right. Second comes right after first. Anyway, that's part one.
Yes.
Let's now move to an interesting story. Good old Randy Pitchford. Speaking of 2K games, let's revisit this little gem. So actually, we forgot to do the super chats.
Oh,
yes.
yes.
Super chats.
Okay, numbers.
Goku, give $2. Thank you very much. Saying what's up.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you.
And Colton DK, hello again, my friend. Gave
we've seen Goku before too.
Have we?
Yes,
Okay.
he also gave $2, I think, like a week ago. Thanks again, and Colton DK.
And he asked, do you have any information on James Cameron, the Avatar project? No, I do not. All I know is that Massive are working on a game for it, which everyone knows. Yeah,
well,
that's
old
probably
news. I didn't actually know that, but we do know one thing, that it's probably never going to come out. Like, Avatar's never going to come out. I mean, Avatar 2 is going to come out when, like, James Cameron's, like, you know, with a walking stick and stuff, like...
He'll be making 85 Avatar films. He'll be like, I want my brain cryogenically frozen so I can continue to make Avatar films
like
into
Disney,
the future.
Man. It's just crazy.
Yeah, for sure. So,
okay,
anyway.
CEO, Gearbox, Randy Pitchford, accused of contempt in latest, can't read the rest of that headline.
Findings.
Yes.
So, he continues to be embroiled in legal disputes stemming from a host of allegations made against him over the last few months. Wade Callender, Gearbox former legal counsel, filed a motion on Tuesday in Dallas County. We've been to Dallas,
Texas.
District Court for contempt and requested sanctions against Gearbox, alleging discovery abuse and failure to produce certain court-ordered documents. It's the latest filing in a lengthy battle between Pitchford and Callender. It started with blah, blah, blah. This is all the background to this story.
Sure. Another USB lost, everybody. Can't produce it for the court.
So it says here that Callender responded with a countersuit this month, accusing Gearbox's CEO of harassing the company's former general counsel because of his Christian faith.
Ooh.
That's super weird. Yeah. I mean, I wonder what religion Randy is.
I wonder.
Yeah. Well, who knows?
I mean, only science will give that information in the future.
So it's obviously harassing people on the basis of their religion. That's not okay. And clearly this guy was, trying to,
And these are allegations for now. We have to always say that, like, allegedly and whatnot, but,
For sure. So either way, look, it's another controversy for Randy.
Controversy.
Yeah, controversy. And he just obviously doesn't need that at this point. I mean,
I can't think of a single person in the gaming industry that has consistently been in the headlines with negative press in such a short span of time. Like, honestly, since he announced that there's going to be a new Borderlands, it's just been a train wreck marketing-wise for him. If they took him out of the picture entirely and just let him work in the background and didn't give him access to Twitter, my God, I mean, and just didn't give him access to USBs and stuff, like, the actual marketing campaign for Borderlands 3 would have gone 100 times better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
100%. I mean, like, as I've said many times before, I feel way less excited for Borderlands at this point now after all of these controversies. I think it's so disappointing what they did to Submato's channel. Clearly that guy should not have been running a Discord, giving a, like... But he would have made like $50, man. He would have made like no money at all. We're talking small potato stuff. And they just completely deleted his channel because he got access to some stuff on Twitch, and some screenshots. Yeah. And he was a super fan that loved the game and sort of was such a big part of that community, was building so much hype, literally selling probably thousands of copies of the game, so to speak, to his fans who were so engaged. And they just completely steamrolled him, deleted him from YouTube.
And the thing is, like, I'm still excited for this game in a lot of respects because we still played it at E3. I thought it was my game of show in terms of just how it performed. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
And regardless of what's happened with Randy and whatnot, like, I will still, when we play the game, just, base it on its merits. But, like, it has to always be mentioned, I think, in any in our review, like, how it's performed marketing-wise and what effect it'll have on the Metacritic score. I think with a lot
it won't have an effect on the Metacritic score.
I mean, in terms of user reviews. That's what I mean.
User reviews, well, I mean, you've already got the Epic exclusivity, which is going to tank the Metacritic score immediately. I think most critics are professional enough to separate the two. Like, I will talk about the marketing side of the game in my review because I feel as though you should make an informed view of a product holistically and be like, well, what am I buying here? But I'm not going to sort of say like Borderlands sucks if it's a good game because I don't like the way they've marketed the product.
I think I'm confident it will be a good game, and I think any game that comes out, regardless of how much you love the game, in the background, subconsciously or consciously, the relationship you have with that publisher or developer is going to affect your experience with that game.
For sure.
Like, if God of War came out and everyone hated Corey, which is impossible, then that would have a fundamental effect, I think, on the review scores, on the Metacritic, like
user scores. Maybe.
User scores I'm talking about, and also just your general experience, I think, with that game.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, more super chat time. We got one from Matthias. I don't know how to say your last name.
Yeah, we're really bad at that. Let's give it a go. Winneckle.
Wienk. 2K needs to taste some Shaq Fu for their crimes. Yes. Agreed. And then Randy should taste some Shaq food too. Love the content memes, guys. Thank you very much.
Love you, appreciate you, man.
Matthias?
Thank you. We don't know what 50 DKK is, but...
Donkey Kong.
It's 50 Donkey Kongs.
We've been through this many times. That is the Donkey Kong currency.
It's the Donkey Kong.
Actually, no, we're skipping that story. And let's talk about Destiny 2 getting a battle pass.
Yes.
Now, this is something that everyone has been tweeting at me for the last few days. Because Destiny 2 is getting a battle pass. Now, it's not quite... I think a lot of people are getting really upset about this. And... I'm not... Look, here's the thing. Here's my overall view on Destiny's monetization in the future. It's too early to say. Like, there's so many details coming out about the cash shop and the annual, like, their new season pass thing and the battle pass that's coming with it and what's free versus what's not. Like, it really is very complex at this point, to the point where I'm not keeping up with it.
Sure.
And even if I was keeping up with it, like... You need to feel it before you can say whether or not it's working. It's one thing to see bullet points on a page. It's another thing to actually be playing the game and realize, oh, I can't do that thing, but I can pay for it. Yeah. Oh, I've just realized that thing is actually really important. No wonder they're making me pay for it. You know, so...
I look at this and go, it's definitely been it's a dramatic and fundamental shift in their monetization. They've gone free to play for a big chunk of their game. It's hard to know. In this battle pass, you mentioned that they... off camera, but they have a lot of the stuff already being shown what to expect in this battle pass. Is that correct?
So battle passes are all built on, well, not all, but like a lot of them are built on the idea that you know what you're going to get. And this is like that. So it's not one of those RNG based battle passes. In fact, it actually kind of smooths out the RNG because it sort of guarantees you some things that you might have to rely on getting as a drop in the game normally.
Yeah.
The other thing about it is that, you do get the battle pass when you buy the season pass. So it's kind of like an add-on on top of buying the seasonal content. You're getting this battle pass, which sort of gives you more rewards.
Yeah.
So it's not like, as I said, I don't want to pass judgment on this yet. I really don't, because I know a lot of people are like, oh, this sucks. And I'm like, well, from what I'm looking at, it doesn't necessarily suck yet. But it could suck depending on how the final implementation works.
It's hard though, because like it's a bit like a season pass where you don't know really what you're getting yet, and you kind of sign up for a year or whatever, and then it's like, you know what I mean? Like sometimes you just don't know what to expect. But the biggest problem with me is like, it's not. I'm not saying this is pay to win, but like you're guaranteed items that other people that didn't pay for it might not get. And then it seems like you will have an advantage then against other players.
Nah, that's not how it works in Destiny.
Firstly. Sure about that?
Yeah, it's not like. I mean, it's not advantage. No. I mean, look.
I mean, if we go back up again. Wait.
But look. I will just say though that
on face value, it definitely looks like you are going to have an advantage of getting some really strong items that someone else will have to farm or kind of spend more time getting.
Yeah, but again, a lot of the time with Destiny, it's just random drop chance and all sorts of randomness goes into it. And the game is not balanced around like one item is inherently way more powerful than another.
And stuff, yeah.
If they do that, they maybe will nerf that stuff if that sort of happens, especially if it's connected to the season pass. So look, my friend Racevic, who's in the chat, much love. He asks, you haven't watched his videos, have you? Racevic's pretty much the best sort of like long form documentary style.
Your competitor. We meet again.
He's not my competitor. He's much better than me. Are there games?
Wait, wasn't he the guy that said that you were saying off camera that sucked? Yeah, that's the guy. That's the guy. Yeah, of course.
Says, are there games that do the battle pass well, like can be enjoyed by people who aren't just addicted? I don't think so, because I feel like the basic premise of the battle pass is that you just need to fucking play the game all the time to unlock all the shit. Like, I get that, but at the same time, there are some like that. I don't know. That doesn't necessarily sound that bad to me, in the sense that, like, especially with a game like Destiny, some people just play Destiny. That's all they do. That's their thing. And if this product exists to sort of like deliver to them, okay. But if it also is not delivering enough value to people who aren't no-lifing it, then it feels like that would be bad. And
that's why
I'm talking about the challenge of like, we need to feel it ourselves and see how it lands.
Yeah, and that's why I come back to my point. Like, I don't know how people that don't sign up to this battle pass are going to be affected.
Correct.
That's what I'm saying. If you're jumping into PvP and there might be some items, of course we haven't seen I don't know exactly how these items are going to be affecting PvP and all that, but I'm just saying, I'm just cautious about that.
Yeah. We've got Greg C, who says, thanks for... they put too much basketball in my casino games.
Yes, they did.
I know, right? It's so annoying, isn't it?
Yes.
And Darren O'Rourke, new member. Thank you very much, Darren. Appreciate the support. And Vlad Player says, I like turtles. I
don't mind them either,
I'm not particularly fond of them, but I don't dislike them.
Yeah, I like them
Ninja
too.
Turtles.
Ooh.
So we can all agree...
Did we miss someone before?
Middle fingers up from 2K. Love the meme, guys. Thank you very much, Robert Davies. So, all right, so that's Destiny's Battle Pass. Boomtown. Let's talk about Blizzard now. There's a few stories here. First of all, Blizzard sues company over blatant Warcraft knockoff.
I mean, it's definitely not a blatant knockoff. Let's look at the photo.
Look at some of the photos. Okay, so first of all, this is number one.
I mean, number one, they
flip them around.
Exactly. They're not in the same way,
Stop complaining, Blizzard. Okay.
And the nose ring is clearly a different color.
It is. Okay. It's definitely. I agree.
The orc's teeth on the left are a lot cleaner than the orc's teeth on the right.
He has a better dental plan.
He has a better dental plan and Ogrimmar.
He does.
Or I don't know what it's called there. It's probably like Smogrimmar or something.
It's definitely going to be Smogrimmar in this
Smogrimmar,
game.
looking forward to that.
You can see here Malfurion.
And they didn't even change the name.
I'm surprised they didn't change the name, to be honest.
That's really
This is Malfurion from Heroes of the Storm. I mean, it's actually Malfurion from World of Warcraft, but okay, well,
no worries.
Then there's Orc Warlock Gul'dan, and he doesn't look at all like Gul'dan here, totally different.
Well, he's called Orc Warlock, and just cut them a break,
That's right. So
and the skulls in the back are arranged differently, guys. So come on, don't be mean. But I look at this and go, come on, that's a joke. I mean, it's okay sometimes to borrow ideas from games, I guess, but this is this is
a bit much.
This is like Ed Sheeran stuff.
I don't know what that means.
Oh, he's been sued by 5 or 6 people saying that they've stolen songs. There's one song in particular that's wow, that's a blatant rip-off. But
really?
Anyway, yeah, but some other ones are just complete lies. But
that's funny.
This is this is very Ed Sheeran-esque.
Nice.
So they'll win this. They'll win this. I mean, they should.
I don't know, man. China, when it comes to intellectual property law, not exactly their strongest, the strongest part of their law.
But I mean, they have to fight the fight then in the US, right? I mean,
I don't know where they're fighting.
I mean, it'd be hard for them to How do they take on a company in another country?
It's impossible.
I mean, it's just not. It's not able to be done.
Daily Fatigue Bear with $5. Thank you very much. The big question with a Battle Pass is always the rate of progression. Hopefully they'll err on the side of casual play. Good question. Exactly. Yep. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see how it goes. And King Chator, 10 New Zealand dollary
Dicks.
Dollary D's. I don't know, man.
I don't actually know. How close is the New Zealand dollar to Aussie? Pretty sure
I think it's about 1/10 the value of the Australian dollar.
I think it's 1/100th.
So really, he just gave us probably a week of salary to equal 10 Australian dollars.
Thank you very much.
So
appreciate you, buddy.
Thank you very much, man.
I appreciate that.
We love our Australian brothers. You guys are choice, bro.
Little brothers.
You're choice.
You guys are choice.
So
so that's it for that. That's gonna be a meme. And back to more Blizzard.
Activision Blizzard shares hit 9-month high on World of Warcraft Classic release.
Yep.
So obviously announced in May, blah blah blah. The actual value. So Blizzard has continued to bring WoW Classic Realms online around the world to accommodate the more than 2 million players who have created characters in anticipation of the launch. And obviously the stock price has
$57. I think.
Where did I see
it's up
the value?
It's up near the top.
Is it? Here we go. Company's share price hit a 9-month high, $52 during trading as the Nasdaq before closing at 51, the highest close since January 2019.
I mean, that's a good win. And you know what? It's funny. They don't release anything. It's just an old product that is quality, and the stock price goes up. I mean, that's just bring EA. Bring out Knights of the Old Republic Classic. Okay. Oh, they didn't do. Did they do that back then? No, they didn't. They didn't have BioWare then, did they?
What do you mean?
Knights of the Old Republic, wasn't that done by?
Knights of the Old Republic was not EA.
Yeah, before they got that.
Before the dark times.
They should bring it out as Knights of the Old Republic Classic, and their stocks will go up. Okay.
Wait, are you talking about SWTOR or Knights of the Old Republic?
Knights of the Old Republic.
The single player game.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right.
Bring that out as classic. That's what I'm trying to say. Because they own all the rights to Star Wars.
The single player offline game.
Yes.
Bring that out as classic.
Yes. You're missing the joke, for God's sake.
I'm definitely missing the joke.
Just bring out old games, okay? And if they're good, your stock price will go up. Okay. That's what I'm trying to say.
But I do feel as though it's sort of interesting that this has happened for Activision Blizzard, when you are talking about a game that is microtransaction free, and I mean, I said this on Twitter, I'm like, one of the best feelings about WoW Classic and why I'm actually so excited to play it eventually after the review cycle is done and like actually got some time on my hands in December is because you know that they're not going to implement microtransactions in that game. Like, you're going to pay your $15 a month, which I know a lot of people think is unfair. I don't believe that's unfair for a second. I feel like that's a very fair price, given what I have taken out of World of Warcraft per month as I played it, right? But no extra garbage on top of that. And that's the problem. One of the problems with like current WoW, you're paying your $15 a month. Plus, if you also want the minions and the mounts and all the shit, you also have to pay more on top of that. It's like, dude, what the fuck? Why are we doing this?
I mean, look, the $15 a month is a form of microtransaction to an extent because you are paying for additional content that you are in good faith that they will continue to do. But you're right, like it was a different time, and it really did deliver a hell of a lot of value for that money.
100%.
Like a hell of a lot of money. So look, if someone else was to bring out another $15 a month subscription and deliver the amount of content that World of Warcraft gave you over a 15-year period, some of the DLC, some of the extensions,
really like it. Maybe let's call it like an 8 or 9 year period.
Yeah, okay.
Then after that, it was
after the wrap, and then that would be justified. And we've said this before. Like, it's not about like microtransaction evil. It's more like it's all about how much value are you getting out of that. And then like at the moment, there is such a huge, it's so out of whack, it's like loot boxes and gambling and garbage, where before you would pay for something and you'd get a hell of a lot in return for that,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You know what I mean by that?
Like, of course.
Yeah.
I really hope that Activision Blizzard, first of all, don't stuff Classic with microtransactions. Secondly, I hope that they look at this and think, cool, this is a good product that we've put out that's just an honest, straight-up product that's not based upon egregious monetization. Let's do more of that. Yeah. I know that's not going to happen. I know that's pipe dream territory, but it's nice to imagine.
Look, it'd be kind of cool if they continue to do WoW Classic and they brought out, I know there's no money in it for them really, they brought out Wrath and Burning Crusade, and then maybe they went on a different trajectory. They were like, we're going to do new expansions and just keep the 2006 update of WoW Vanilla.
I would love to see new content built on the old foundations of where I think Wrath of the Lich King left off. Mr. Pandaria also had some good foundations. I would love to see new content developed on that track and just leave the live game alone. Yes. It's like, I've had enough of that shit now. And I wonder, it really needs a massive, massive redesign for...
It needs another Bahamut egg to just hit like Final Fantasy 14.
Kind of like Final Fantasy, WoW Reborn.
Yes.
Yeah, I would seriously...
I'd love to see like Kalimdor and... what's the other one? Azeroth.
Northrend.
Or whatever, they just act like there's an earthquake and they just smash into each other
and they just sink into the ocean and then that's it.
And a volcano erupts and there's a new area, okay, it's called Pangea. And then it's like, cool, we all start again.
So we've got some shout outs now. We've got that from Daily Fatigue Bear. We've got the New Zealander. Yep. We've got Thor RCX. Hi guys, love your channel. Also, do you know Kojima isn't written correctly? It's this, not that. This probably just says like chlamydia or something.
Yeah, it probably just means, ripped. You bought something, you have no idea what it means.
Yeah. Dumb foreigner or something. Yeah. So, but okay, I got played then. Well played person who sold me this thing.
Yes.
Battle Pass Season 3 comes... So the Battle Pass comes free with Seasons. There's an article on Budgie.net called Season 3 that clarifies this. Carl Edwards, yes, it does do that, correct. But it's also a case of how like compulsory will that purchase feel if you're playing the game.
Yeah.
And if it feels like, you really have to do it, then it's kind of like, but yeah, look, as I said, we'll come back to that later on when the time comes.
The last thing I was saying, like, of course, they have an incentive, they're out on their own now. They need to make sure that they've got cash. They are incentivized to steer towards monetization that makes the player feel like they need it. So
sure.
It'll be interesting to see that.
We've got King Yogi said $10 to say hi to Racevic. Oh,
nice.
Well,
Racevic.
I'm sure Racevic says hello back.
And we're keeping all that stuff for Racevic. It's all ours.
That's right. $10 from Vlad Player says the Emperor protects. Okay.
He attack, he protect, and most of all, he... I don't know. 5 euros, the late night with Laymen Gaming Germany. Thank you for the show. Thank you very much for being here. Olaf, Robert Davies, another $2. Thank you very much. Holding up for Diablo Immortal. And this can happening with that, dude? Like, there's been some videos and articles like, what is going on? It was supposed to come out like last year at the end of it, right? Like, what happened?
Steve Cadwell says this can help pay for all the electricity you guys keep wasting that Street Fighter cabinet on. Joke's on you. The building pays for the electricity.
We don't pay for it, people.
We don't pay for it. So
interesting. They might be watching the show, be like, "Oh, guys, can you just come up to? Can we have a chat about the electricity bill?"
So let's move on to next story item. DICE says they hit rock bottom with Star Wars Battlefront 2, and that player sentiment is now rising. Now, who'd have thought that, Star Wars Battlefront 2 was rock bottom for DICE? I mean, I don't remember really talking about it that much when Star Wars Battlefront 2
I think we just left it. We were like, you know what? It's not going to go our channel, and there's no memes in it, so screw it. That's how we played it, guys.
So here's the quote. They said, "We hit rock bottom in terms of player sentiment, but now it's climbing every month. We're delivering more content this year than we did in the first year, which is also a sign of a healthy game. The community's happier than it's ever been, especially with the big announcement yesterday. I think we had to take a step back. The team had to look itself in the mirror a little bit, pick ourselves up from really rough Christmas for everyone, and then just get back to work." So I will say, though,
yes, I will say that there has been a growing
appreciation
for Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Send in the clowns. I still look at this though and go, look, I mean, they're still doing the ultimate. I mean, look, fine, DICE is its own thing, but it's of course connected to EA. They're still doing this. They're still doing the FIFA stuff, the Ultimate Team stuff. I'm not aware now. There's still loot boxes in this, right?
I honestly don't know. No, there's loot boxes, but none of them are paid.
None of them are paid, are they?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, look, it's great that they've done that, but in reality, would they have done this out of a moral, a moral need? No, it's because there was a giant backlash,
Yeah.
Regardless of that, look, it's good that they've tried to turn this game around, and I'm glad that the community in general is enjoying this, because when we reviewed this game, the biggest thing that we were disappointed about was like, this is such a mechanically fantastic game, but it's just destroyed by its monetization.
Yeah, so that's the thing. When I reviewed the game, I was like, this is one of the best Star Wars games ever made. And that's the thing. Like, I feel like it's just taken time for people to get the bad taste of the monetization out of their mouth, and then they give it a go, and they realize, because they've also added new content, and they've continued to update other things. It's always been, what I think, a fantastic game. It's not a very deep game. Like, its map design in particular is quite problematic, because it just creates these kind of like,
tunnel things in certain areas.
Operation Locker, like choke points or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's what it is. Like, if you can get past that and you just want to like feel like you're playing Star Wars, it's amazing. And the flight missions in particular, I think, are astounding. So
I hated the flight mechanics, but
that's crazy you say that.
I know.
The flight mechanics
really just didn't like it. I actually had to go into the settings and just change into more like a basic bitch approach. I just didn't like them. But anyway, I kind of hope. Look, I do hope that this game continues to build, because the more that there's goodwill with the community, the more EA and DICE are like, okay, if we go down this route, we end up making a better product, a fairer monetization model, where we're building our company up, and then they get to go to bed at night and be like, you know what, we're slowly becoming better dudes. Like, that's a good thing. And hopefully new games that come out, like Jedi Fallen Order, that will have no
respawn.
Yeah, but that won't have any monetization.
No microtransactions.
That's what they've said, but we'll see.
We will see.
I hope that is the continuing trend with EA.
Greg Smith with $2 says, "Keep up the memes, dude. We will. Don't worry. That's Sam's job."
I was going to say, yeah, we will, right?
That's right. Extract Gaming says, "Anthem cap selling out to the enemy hard. No jokes."
What do you think of this?
Guys.
Huh? Pretty
good, huh? I wish we could sell. We'd sell a boatload of those caps. If we had the license to sell Anthem merch, we'd make a killing.
We were thinking of doing Failout 69,
but then we just get sued.
I don't think we would, because it's actually not their name.
Get sued. They'd like to sue us. So there's no chance. Hey, GTA vanished from NVIDIA's GeForce. Now hints at Stadia streaming exclusivity.
I just don't understand how that. Okay, why does that?
Why
does that mean that it's going to be on Stadia?
So basically, if you had NVIDIA Shield, NVIDIA, I always mispronounce it, then you could stream Grand Theft Auto using that technology.
Sure.
Okay, cool. All of a sudden, just delete it. That was no longer available. And there's no explanation as to why that's the case. And we also know that Google right now is on a huge shopping spree to to get exclusives. You would struggle to find there's lots of exclusives you can get. Grand Theft Auto 5 is the most successful IP in history of anything. Do you know what I mean? So if they were able to land this whale and they were able to get exclusive streaming rights for this, that's a big system seller at that point. That's massive. You know what I mean?
Because, look, it's tapping into a casual audience, and I think that right now a lot of the casuals, like, maybe this is generalizing, they'll be like, I oh, I've got my console, fuck it, like, why would they venture out into a new technology that just might be like, oh, I don't know what this shit is, If they have an incentive, like the game they love, and they can start playing the game they love on the bus and the train and whatever,
sure.
That is going to be maybe the thing that they need to shift that discussion really onto Stadia and cloud gaming.
Yeah. So it is definitely not confirmed. It's just a theory at this point, but it's a theory that makes a lot of sense.
And all we do is theories. Like, it's not real news, everybody.
So, but I'd say the thing about Grand Theft Auto that makes it so important is that it cuts through to like the super casual gamer, or the non-gamer, I would say. People who don't play video games, they'll buy a PlayStation and they'll buy like Call of Duty, FIFA, and they'll buy Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
They're the three games that these people will buy,
sure.
And if you can get this kind of game onto that platform, you have way more chance of capturing the layman's attention and building your platform from that sort of more casual base, which I feel is super important for a platform like this.
Yeah.
People who aren't going to be investing in like big hardware and stuff, this feels like the perfect fit for Stadia's strategy.
Sure, exactly what I said, everybody.
Well,
doubling up points here.
No, I just feel like...
No, man. I'm just fucking with you. But like, I do think that like, if I was a company, I'm like, okay, how do I make myself relevant in the next stage of technology, and how do I make sure that it doesn't all seem just too complicated?
Yes.
Get people on board that love or that already know and love a particular game. And try and make it as accessible as possible,
sure.
and then hopefully it'll grow from there.
For sure.
Because I don't think any movements have ever been created, like even from the personal computer. Like it takes things that are able to be accessed by the masses to become pop culture, or in culture in general. So I don't think the hardcore gamer is going to make Stadia a thing. It's going to be the casual guy,
So,
casual guy or girl.
Or girl. So now let's refer to our old favourite.
Should we do more?
We got one more there.
we get any more?
Robert Moreau with $25.
Thank you.
That's huge. Wait, I get to buy 10 minutes for only $24.99. That's a steal. Yes, it is, my friend.
Thank you so
very much.
We
Robert.
really do appreciate that. And we got 34 more Donkey Kong
credits. From Colton DK, Xbox Forever. There you go.
Thank you.
Hopefully Gears of War is good this week. Can I say?
That's what we're
really
doing.
want it to be good. I'll be legitimately sad for Xbox fans if the last big exclusive of the year for them is a disappointment.
Yeah.
Because after that, the next one is Ori, and that's not obviously like a big system seller, even though it's a great game.
And is that actually that's on another?
That's next year.
And that's not. Isn't that also going to be on other platforms?
No, I think they're releasing the old Ori on Switch.
Oh,
not
the new one. Okay, yeah, cool.
So anyway, Thronebreaker showed that GOG exclusives don't work for us, says CD Projekt Red.
Interesting.
So probably a lot of you don't even know what Thronebreaker is. Thronebreaker is a Witcher game, funnily enough. That is, it's a spin-off title that kind of uses Gwent as its gameplay. So it has like it's a single-player RPG, or I guess single-player adventure game, I guess you could call it, and you roam around the world, and when it's time to throw down, you're playing cards. You know what I mean? So it was...
As all real battles do.
That's right.
Okay.
It was meant to be something that really sort of pushed Gwent up in terms of people's attention.
Sure.
But it didn't really cut through, I feel. And I think a lot of people to this day still don't know this game was actually released, that it was a CD Projekt Red game, etc.
Yeah.
I have not actually played through it, but I've heard that the writing is absolutely superb. I've heard it's a really worthwhile experience.
Yeah.
Just the card thing kind of doesn't engage me.
Yeah,
I mean?
I've never liked... For me, it's such a hard transition, It's like, if I'm playing a card game, I just want an interface and experience that backs up the card game thing. I agree. I've never been a card game in a world thing, apart from FF8, when you've got the... What's the music? Triple Triad. That was great, And FF8 out next week. Play it.
Oh, I'm so excited for that. I don't have time for it, but I'd love to play it. So, CD Projekt Red said, with Thronebreaker, we started with an exclusive, which they put exclusively on GOG, their own storefront, Good Old Games, and decided to share it with a wider audience. Global Communications Manager Marcin Strazik tells us at GameStop, it proved to us that exclusives maybe don't work for us because we don't want to limit the number of people who can get access to the game. So that learning translated directly to Cyberpunk, which you can buy on any other platform, but we really strongly encourage you to buy it from GOG, because when you do that, all of the money goes to CD Projekt Red. So if you are a fan of what they're doing and you really want to support them and you're on PC, please consider buying it on GOG. I know it sort of sucks not to have everything as part of your Steam library, but it's really worth it to support the incredible work that these guys are doing. Either way, look, it's interesting getting insight into their sort of thought processes and what they learned from Thronebreaker.
Yeah, I think the Thronebreaker could have been a guinea pig, but I don't ever think that they would have gambled with Cyberpunk and made that an exclusive. I really think that they know it's the biggest title they've done in the last, I don't know, since Witcher. Of course, so I really think that, no, it was never going to be a discussion point, I think.
Well, I don't know, like...
As the first thing that they try and put on as an exclusive, you know?
I mean, like, Bethesda went all in with their, like, Bethesda.net launcher for a while, with, like, Fallout and stuff. They're like, this is going to work, guys.
But that's them. I feel like, you know, CD Projekt Red is very much about, like, you know...
They're a good company.
Yeah, they're a good company. And, like, I don't think that they would have done that with such a huge title that a lot of people are expecting on other platforms.
Sure.
You know, and I think that... Is this down to maybe a game that didn't resonate with people? Maybe there wasn't a big marketing budget. Maybe, you know, maybe it was just because it was exclusively on GOG and there's such a small footprint, I think, on the gaming marketplace pie. It's not a lot of people jump on there.
Very small.
Yeah, compared to Steam.
But it's very pro-consumer. Again, if you are someone that is a serious PC gamer, you should check out GOG because they have no DRM with any of their stuff, which means that you always own your product. Yeah. You don't need to worry, and you never need to worry about like the de novo servers going down so you can't access it. They're very, very big on actual ownership of your items. Yeah. Because obviously that's very ingrained in CD Projekt Red's DNA. Yeah. So it's a really great storefront. I certainly buy some stuff there. Not everything, but I certainly buy some things there. And I'm pretty sure we're going to get sent a copy of Cyberpunk for free. Yeah. But if I was to buy it, I would buy it from GOG. Do you know what I mean? So yeah. Cool. Okay, so that's that. Now let's talk about today's big news, which is that there's
a lot of people have already watched this. It's a 15-minute clip. We don't have a time to actually blow by blow, so maybe we just play it in the background, and then we'll actually just talk about what we've experienced.
Yeah. So obviously, just in case you are unawares. Probably 4 hours ago now, I think, maybe a little bit more, they released the actual sort of a portion of the E3 demo that Sam and I saw when we were over there. Yeah. It was a 50-minute demo that we saw, but here it's only 15. And I'm sure they're just taking the most interesting, you know, parts of it. But it's got a real focus on talking about the different gameplay paths that you can take as you're playing the game. So if you want to be someone that's very run and gun, you can do that.
Like a brute.
Or if you want to be someone that's sort of like hacking, you know, being like a net runner, hacking terminals, hacking other enemies. Yep. Remember that where you could like, you had this like whip thing, you could literally just like plug into an enemy.
Like an avatar thing, you know, like you could like plug into the flying thing. Do you remember that?
I don't remember that part, no. Yeah.
But yeah, like that kind of thing. And then also there was another one. There was the Zombra style. There was like the brute. And there was another one. Wasn't there? There was another way.
I only saw two.
Oh, was there only two that they showed? It's a few months back now. Okay. Well, there's two. Yeah,
no, that's just the two.
Genders?
Body types, Sam. Body types.
Well, we won't go there, but...
Nice, nice.
I do think that the 15 minutes is... Look, I actually saw on Twitter also that some people weren't overly happy with it, and what we've said...
What were they saying? What was some of the criticism?
I saw only 2 or 3 when I was skimming through. One said that it was boring, and after 5 minutes they just turned it off, and they thought that the gunplay looked crap. That's what they were saying.
Yeah, so I mean, I feel like if you want your game to be constant 24/7, like action, don't play this game, man. It's not like that. Like it's even The Witcher 3. It's like 90% of that game is just talking to people. Do you know what I mean? Like that's the fucking game. Yeah. So if you are playing I
would know, of course, because I finished Witcher. But
if you're playing an RPG like this, you have to be ready for long periods of not exciting shit, and that is, in my book, the best part of the game. That's the part that's so like intellectually stimulating, and especially when you've got different ways to approach those challenges. Yes, that's awesome. And I think
it's intellectually stimulating to like sit around in the world and experience it.
It is though. It's like you're just sitting there shooting stuff 24/7. If I wanted to do that, I'd play Doom. You know what I mean?
I actually think it's more than that. I think that their objective of this was not to be like explosions. Sure, there's a few of those, but it was like, okay, as we've said before, let's show what's under the hood. Let's show how this game operates and mechanically what to expect. You know, the way in which you can kind of go out the world and use abilities. And it was not so much about, let's show you a bit of Cyberpunk and show you a few explosions. We're at the next stage of that now. Like, we want to know more about it. I would have been disappointed if we had seen another trailer just showing heaps of explosions and barely anything about what to expect from the actual gameplay.
Totally agree.
So when people are saying that they're annoyed that they didn't see that it looked, a bit boring and whatever, I personally think they might have missed the point of what CD Projekt Red was trying to do with this trailer.
Totally agree. So look, still incredibly hyped for this. You guys can check this gameplay for yourself. The trailer is live. Make sure you give it an upvote. Show them some support. It's on the official Cyberpunk channel. And you can see some of the stat stuff there as well.
Yeah.
So look, April's not that far away. Can I say we're now in September? It's not that far away at all. So I'm incredibly pumped. Everyone's incredibly pumped. Go check out this footage and you can decide for yourself how pumped
it looks pretty cool.
You are. So anyway, let's move on to another juicy story. Actually, why don't we just do the super chats?
Oh, yeah.
Colton, we got WoW talk. Hell yeah, says Xander Boss. 49, thank you very much. And Colton, again, is going so large with the Donkey Kong coins. The fact that you can make a character transsexual is mind-blowing. It is certainly a very big shift for the games industry.
It is a big shift.
Which we won't discuss here and now, because otherwise the entire comment section will be completely consumed by that chat for the next 4 hours.
Yeah, the Laymen Gaming Show has been put on hiatus.
So let's go. 6 CSGO players arrested for alleged match fixing in Australia. So this is a case of Australian dollary dues changing hands for corrupt video gamers. Australian police have actually arrested 6 Counter-Strike Global Offensive players during an investigation into suspicious betting activity in an esports league. It's alleged that the 6 men, all between 19 and 22 years, arranged to lose matches in advance and then place bets on those matches.
Yeah.
So...
how silly would you be to place bets in your own... do they do it in their own names? Like, surely you just,
I'm not sure.
Get your mate to do it, right?
The investigation... Nice name.
Sorry.
Yes, how to match fix with Laymen Gaming.
Laymen Gaming
The investigation began in March after a tip-off from a betting company. Probably Sportsbet. Ladbrokes. What are the other ones? They're all yelling men on the
Gamble
television.
responsibly.
That's right. Don't tell the wife.
Yeah. Get away from the missus.
That's right. You can afford it. It's
ball and chain.
It's so like that, eh? All these ads are just these blokey blokes yelling into the microphone.
It's like at Lowe's.
Things.
I don't know if you... Okay, Aussies will know. At Lowe's. It's the same thing. All those closing down warehouse sales.
50% off.
Oh my God.
He's lost his mind. You're like, okay, I can't turn the volume down on the television.
Aussies will only find this funny.
Only Australians will get this bit.
Yeah,
but trust me, it's a thing.
Yeah.
The investigation began in March after a tip-off from a betting company, and detectives continue to work with a number of betting companies, including Sportsbet. We were right. In relation to the case, Assistant Commissioner Neil Patterson said esports is really an emerging sporting industry, and with that will come the demand for betting availability and the outcomes of tournaments and matches. These warrants also highlight that police will take any reports of suspicious criminal activity within esports seriously, and we encourage anyone with information to come forward. So this is old news, by the way, in places like Korea, where they've had so many match-fixing stuff, because esports has been way bigger over there for way longer. It's interesting to see that's coming to Australian shores now.
And I'm glad that there's a precedent being set, because I think that, some people are like, oh, games, who cares about them? And there might be some stigma in Australia still, or in many countries where they just don't take it seriously, especially esports,
For sure.
It's taken things like that kid where we're winning like $3 million in Fortnite, where there's more conversation around it now,
Sure.
And there needs to be a precedent set, like, no, this is a serious thing, people put a lot of time and effort into it, and you can't go... And fix matches and expect to get away from that. And get away with it.
Cadler says, rip Big Kev. Remember Big Kev?
I'm excited. That was his little catchphrase. Is he gone now?
Unfortunately, he's gone.
Oh, okay.
So we still have Sam Kekovich, the Lambassador.
I don't know.
Have you seen the lamb ads on Australia Day?
No.
Oh, they're the best.
Oh, we're not going to show you guys, because only 5% of our audience will actually enjoy that.
Go and Google Australian lamb ads. Australia Day lamb ad, like lamb the meat.
It's kind of coming back to me.
It's the best. Oh my God,
they're
amazing.
Whole like Patriot, like you guys.
It's the whole Australiana thing.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah, I think I remember.
Okay, so anyway. Look, here we go. This is another story that I don't think we mentioned.
I saw this.
That we just like to just remind everyone how much of a disgusting scam that this Star Citizen
the
is.
Movementarians.
They've just added another $650 ship to Star Citizen, and this is standard. But even the community, if you read through the subreddit, they're like, looks awesome, but $675 low. This is a community of people who are used to getting fleeced from this company, and even they're like, yeah, I don't know about this one, man.
I just don't understand how people are still hanging on to this game. Like,
it seriously blows my mind.
Let's just go back and actually, like, this has been in development now for what, like 7 years or something? Like,
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Horrendously long time.
Feels like it's been in development since the original Game Boy was out.
Yeah, it was like, it's been a while, right? They had all these big celebrities sign on, and like, in reality, have we seen much apart from a few demo tests to show how it might look?
I mean, look, if you speak to proper fans of the game who are playing it, yeah, they're seeing lots of things, but you're not seeing an actual complete end-to-end product/gameplay loop that's emerging, and there's no light at the end of the tunnel.
No.
There's no like, oh yeah, guys, this is releasing here. They've just given up on trying to like specify that. I bet you right now we're probably going to see a few people in the chat being like, actually, I'm playing it right now, and it's genius. But you just need to back their vision. I'm sorry. People say to me, will you review Star Citizen when it comes out? No, I fucking won't. Because I'm not going to play some game where I can buy a ship for $3,000. Any game that has that sort of thing in it, I'm out. I'm fucking out.
I'm happy to play it if I don't have to spend any money and actually just experience it. And then we can do maybe a review if you wanted to. But like, $6.75, I mean, how is that not a red flag? I mean, like, what is that? It's a freaking, it's zeros and ones, guys.
It's so wrong that I don't understand.
I mean, I get it that they have to still make a profit by, you know, and hopefully that profit is off the back of, you know, producing value. But like, that's EA on steroids. That kind of like those kind of prices. Like,
we're going to see a great like HBO documentary one day about the collapse of Star Citizen and everything that happened behind the scenes that led to it.
L1 Hubbard was the one making.
He was pulling the strings.
He was pulling the strings.
Yeah.
He goes, I'll make you a bet. I can make a game, right, and charge a shit ton of money, and everyone's going to line up for it.
Speaking of investors, this is quite an interesting story, actually. Nice transition.
Yeah.
Big Short investor Michael Berry is now going long on GameStop. So, can you get off, please?
Oh, God. So ads on content.
So this is him like, oh, yeah, I can see the future.
Yeah.
He's looking at the future. The future's just over there, guys.
Yeah,
you can't see it, but it's there.
Oh, man.
Michael Berry,
the future.
whose prescient bet against subprime mortgages before the financial crisis was depicted in the book and movie The Big Short. Great movie, by the way. Just watched it the other night for the second time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'd seen it before, but it's awesome. He's making another contrarian call going long on GameStop.
The Big Short. Doesn't that just sound like The Big Short? That's just an interesting...
Let's keep it PG rated, Sam, okay?
I'm sure I've seen that title on another website.
GameStop's balance sheet is actually in very good shape, Berry told Barron's in a phone interview on Wednesday. I believe they will have the cash flow to justify a much higher share price. They just talk about his background. His firm, Scion Asset Management, revealed it had sent a letter to the board of GameStop urging the company to fully execute the $237 million remaining on its current $300 million share buyback authorization. The statement also disclosed that Scion now owns 3 million shares of GameStop, or 3% of outstanding shares. So, like, that's a pretty big deal. You got this guy who clearly knows what he's doing. He's backing GameStop. It kind of makes sense from the perspective of you've got another generation of hardware coming soon, and if GameStop can survive to that point, you're going to have a lot of traffic in GameStop stores.
I mean, to an extent, I can understand that, but the problem with that is there's already a very clear trend that digital purchasing of digital games is more and more of a thing. Now, we've already heard from these game companies they're hinting at least that cloud gaming is definitely going to be their focus, if not the future. I don't see GameStop really being relevant in the next 10 years.
I feel them being relevant in the next 3 to 4 years as the next generation of hardware comes out. After that, I wonder if this guy dumps his position, because once the hardware has sold and we move to what is potentially a future without hardware, or at least not a traditional model of console release cycles every 6 to 7 years, whatever, I wonder if GameStop has the same relevance at that point. And because,
And look, it's not that I know more than Michael Burry or whatever his name is, like, but I'm gonna, you know, does this guy... Like, does he understand fully the landscape of gaming?
He probably does. He probably knows it better than we do.
But maybe he doesn't. Maybe
have you watched the movie? He understands everything.
He understands, right? He plays drums, all right?
So
he knows his shit, okay? Right. He knows timing. So this is the best timing right now.
Nice.
No, but look, I just wonder if, I just don't know if he's going to be saying the same things in 5 years' time, when we will see cloud gaming pick up, I believe. We will see a lot of big titles just being played exclusively on your phones and stuff, and then less relevance will be on the consoles. Like, will I be playing any games on consoles in 3 years? I personally, because I love the Switch already, I want to buy all my games on Switch. I'm the perfect example of someone that doesn't care if it's a giant screen. I just like it in my hand on the bus or whatever. Like, A lot of people will fall into that category, and consoles will feel the effect of that, and GameStop will feel the effect of that.
For sure, I agree. Matthias Wienk, again, he's back with another 20 Donkey Kong
Maybe they're
coins.
just changing it to DK coins now. Like, is everyone just DK coins?
He says he will buy Cyberpunk on GOG. Good man.
Good man.
Dark says, where can I get the Majora's Mask like you? Sam actually bought that, I think, from... Didn't you buy it from...
I bought that from the King's Comics in the city.
King's Comics, yeah.
For Ralph's present for Christmas. Little did he know that it would end up on a studio that we both share.
Nice, Sam.
So I'm glad I bought that for him.
I bought this for you,
a tax
Ralph.
deduction.
But I don't like
a tax deduction.
But I don't like bowling. It has your name on it. Who is this? Homer.
Yeah.
So, Dima Choden says, I love Laymen Gaming. Greetings from the Germany. Jawohl, is that how you say that?
Jawohl.
Thank you very much, Dima, for the 5 years. Appreciate
I love
that.
Game and Laming.
And
you said Game and Laming.
Escape 1233999 $14.99. That's very generous. Thank you.
Thank you.
Speaking of betting, what kind of odds can I get Sam wears his Xbox pants next live stream? They're pretty.
Look, I actually bought 3 or 4 pairs of different things because, as you guys can see, I was wearing the same pants all the time.
Every day.
All the time.
That was really great to sit next to.
They were very clean.
So the very last story here, we couldn't be a Layman live stream without a little bit of epic bad, right? We need to deliver the epic bad. So Unfold Games, the guys who've made Dark, which obviously has been in the headlines recently because of the way they have been shrekking Epic Games in public, just committed another public shrekking.
Well, we should give it. So we'll give the backstory to that. Of course, they asked Epic Games asked them to be exclusive, right? Yeah, and then they said, no, we're not going to go exclusive with you, but we're happy to put it on your platform. And Tim Sweeney's like, new phone, who dis? So he didn't go ahead with that, and now they've come back and said, well, actually, checkmate, pal.
So, okay, Tim Sweeney's like, because people were obviously at Tim Sweeney about the fact that Dark was selling really well, even after Tim Sweeney turned it down on the Epic Games Store, unless it was an exclusive. He says, we're happy to see Dark succeed because it's a great game and it deserves success. That's why we contacted them to explore exclusivity. Tim, says Unfold Games, I'm glad to hear that. If you change your mind and accept Dark to your store non-exclusively, I'll donate 100% of my Epic Games Store revenue to a charity. If you accept the charity can be picked by the gaming's community at a later date.
Let's just look at the Twitter comments because it's just a bunch of people doing chess memes. Because it actually is.
Is it really? I didn't see that actually.
Go down. Where are they all? Further down.
Let's see.
There it is. There's one. Outstanding move. If we continue down more.
Nice. So obviously, guys, you can guess Tim Sweeney's response to this. He absolutely immediately said yes. It's now available on the store. So obviously. I'm completely fucking with you. It's not about
I thought you were being serious.
Tim Sweeney has not...
I was like, wow, that's a quick turnaround.
No, Tim Sweeney has not responded to this at all. And it really just makes him look like a giant douchebag because Tim Sweeney's all like, I'm all for the industry, guys. I really want to help out the industry. It's all about the industry. That's why we do what we do, man, for the industry. And here you've got a chance to sell a game on your storefront and raise money for charity and crickets, So,
every day that goes by, I think the gaming community in general understands that Tim Sweeney, Epic Games,
he has not conducted himself well.
No, and he's also just been, he's come out and said things that he blatantly doesn't even believe in. This whole, let's make a marketplace that's more accessible for gamers and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it doesn't look great, does it? And, he's also like, we just want to make sure that Steam brings down their prices and all. I think that's all bullshit.
I don't believe him at this point. I believed him at the first. I really honestly did. I was like, look, this guy, he's got a rich history in this industry, very passionate. He's saying all the right things. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. I do not believe him I once did. Tim Swindley is nice.
That's great.
So anyway, guys, look, that's it. We finished up with
one. We better do the one. Thank you very much for the £5.
We did. Scottish guy here. Normally, we get told we're difficult to understand, but you guys are on a different level. Come on, man. Scottish accents are truly the hardest of all the English, except for the really Irish accents. You're fucked if you...
I've watched numerous documentaries where some scientist is Scottish showing something in the British Isles or whatever, and they have subtitles under it because you don't know what he's saying. All right, but I have seen also one or two things where Australians and they've had subtitles.
Really?
Yeah, I've seen that once or twice, like as memes and stuff. Like, that's so crazy.
Thank you guys for the hard work, says Lou. I've been a fan for years. Love the memes. Have you thought about bringing another big boy in the mix as a guest? We don't really have any other big boys in our life.
Thick Boy can come back.
He needs to come. He's just always working.
He's actually looking to start a cafe called Thick Boy.
I'd go to that cafe.
I would go to Thick Boy Burgers.
So guys, thank you very much for being here today. The Shill Up Control review is going to go live in the next 15 minutes, so give it a click if you can. Love you, appreciate you. I'm also streaming on Twitch the next little while. This week is going to be Gears of War. I'm not streaming that until Wednesday though because it's under embargo. We will have a review out on when the embargo lifts for that. I'm going to try and squeeze in a bit of Astral Chain streaming. Going to try and squeeze in some Final Fantasy. Sam, what are you going to play this week?
I am going to play Shaq Fu and Anthem, and I'll play Fallout 76.
Nice. No, I actually want to play Fallout 76. We should do like a 1 year later because it comes out. I think it's November 14th or something is the 1 year anniversary. So I'd actually want to play that then to see what it's like 1 year on.
Sure. And I also we've got to do Astral Chain.
Yeah, that's the plan. So Bartos Lisco says, I'm just here for the puns. My wife started questioning my intelligence as to why I'm laughing at your show. She just doesn't get it, or maybe she does, Bartos. Maybe watching Laymen actually reduces your intelligence.
Maybe.
It's very possible.
It probably just makes you a meme lord, man. It's all good.
Anyway, guys, thank you very much for being fantastic. We love you very much. And we're going to see you on Monday. No, so we're going to see you tomorrow for our Control review.
Yep.
Thank you very much. And Laymen out.
Laymen out!